needs to be fed. Like, it's almost an animal that needs to be fed, like, by these compulsions. And the more you fight, the more tiresome it gets. But, like, you gotta fight or else it's gonna just take over your life. So when I first got diagnosed with OCD, I was really worried that, because soccer is something that I love, that it was going to make me not be able to play soccer. So at first it was hard to get over that whole, like, thought spiral of, like, oh my God, you're going to get hurt, or you don't, like there's going to be people touching you all the time, or, like, you're going to fall on the ground and touch the dirt or whatever. And that's another part of the thought process is, like, you've been playing this for years and you haven't died yet, so, like, stop worrying about it and just have fun. So I think there's just, like, a lot of, like, just, like, inner monologue of, like, convincing myself that it'll all be okay.
I've only played soccer with her for the past season, so just a few months. She's played soccer for a while. Yeah, when Jess comes to soccer, I wouldn't notice the difference from any other girl. She shows up, she's ready to play, she's focused, she puts in a good effort. She's definitely a teammate to be proud of.
So I play in the net. I'm a keeper. Probably a little crazy for that. I like to put my face in front of flying objects. And I also like the feeling of, like, kind of being terrified, but, like, not terrified all in the same time, at the same time when a ball is being, like, kicked towards you. And just being brave enough to, like, take that hit if you need to take that hit. When I'm playing soccer, I just feel totally free. OCD's not on the mind. It's gone. It's kind of like, it's always there in the back, but it's not there when I play. I wasn't diagnosed with OCD until I was 18, but I can remember having OCD thoughts or OCD habits when I was a kid. They call them tendencies. Little things that happened through my childhood. I can kind of pick out a few, not many, but a few. And then by the time I turned 18, I had a lot of them. OCD is an obsessive compulsive disorder. Basically what it is people have obsessive thoughts or, like, intrusive thoughts that won't go away until they do a compulsion. So for me, my obsession would be germs and cleanliness. And then my compulsion would be to get rid of those germs by washing my hands, sanitizing things, showering, washing my clothes. Obsessive thought is that if I don't do this, I'm going to die or I'm going to get a disease. Some friends have left because it's hard. Being friends with me or being around me can be hard sometimes. It can be emotionally draining.
Jess is my really good friend. We met about 2 years ago in the J School. We've been going to J School together for 3 years. The first time that I actually ever found out that Jess has OCD was from a piece published in the Dalhousie Gazette. I was the arts and lifestyle editor at the time, and she published, I believe it was a piece called Maybe Stop Apologizing for Mental Illness. It was about her experience, an opinion piece of her experience living with OCD, and when I read it in the paper, I was like, I had no idea that this was my classmate's experience.
I, like, almost added it to the online version. I use a lot of my journalism as a platform to discuss mental health care whether that's like opinion pieces or like revealing other people's stories. I want to also focus on other issues in my journalism, but I didn't want to stop writing about mental health. So I created a blog. It's called helloocd.ca. And I haven't quite gotten it to where I want it yet, but it's basically me sharing not just like my published works, but also like some like kind of diary entry type stuff. Mental health wise, I'm never going to stop being an advocate. I always want to make sure that my voice is being heard and that other people's voices are being heard. I recently have had a lot of kind of like heartbreaks revolving around the healthcare system because I just feel like I've been left out on my own. They take on people who are in like crisis instead of people preventing people from going into crisis.
There's often a lag between when the person initially gets referred and when they're able to get into the more definitive treatment. So as to how long that takes, it varies. I mean, the initial appointment, the choice appointment, usually can be done within weeks, but the partnership appointment, so for example, if you needed to see a psychologist, that might take much longer. It could take months because it depends on the resources we've got.
So I've seen about 7 to 8 mental health care professionals since the age of 12. I'm now 20. OCD requires a lot of hard work and a lot of consistency in treatment, and when you're only seeing a psychologist once every 4 to 6 weeks because that's what they're available for, then the treatment isn't enough.
So for example, our clinic at Bears Road, which is our biggest clinic, we get, I think we get 500 referrals a month, right? So it's just difficult to sort of, and we have a clinic of 20-some people, so it's just hard to sort of move that kind of volume.
I've known 5 people who have committed suicide. Some of them I was closer to than others. I don't want that to be me. People are slipping through the cracks right in front of them, and that they need to open up their eyes and realize that what they're doing isn't working and they need to make a change. Right now I'm facing a shortage of my medication. I think I have about 10 to 15 days left of it. So that means that if I can't find that medication, that I'll have to go without it. Living with this is hard. Living with OCD is hard. And I want my life to be a little easier. I don't want to just be functioning.
Jess, for the most part, I know it's harder for her at times, but she's on top of it and she knows what to do. So it's really just being aware of what she needs as you would any friend. This is gonna make me seem really bad, but there was this like weird yellow substance on my computer, just kind of all over the back, and I'm like, Jess, hey, do you want to touch this? It wouldn't bother you too much if I just held it right up against your face? I didn't touch her with it. I know that would really bother her. But I did ask her if she wanted to touch it. She didn't. It's just kind of stuff like that. And I actually have no idea what the yellow stuff on my computer was. I should probably be more concerned about it. Maybe Jess has the right idea.
Before I give in to like my obsession and do a compulsion, it's frustrating because I want to fight back and I don't want to do it because I'm such a rational thinker that I'm like, well, come on now, like washing your hands isn't gonna like prevent you from dying. But it's like overwhelming how many thoughts are coming in about it. And it's easiest to refer to it as like a thought spiral where you're just trying to get to the end of the spiral, but the end never comes. I'm a very compassionate person and caring, and I just like I love the people in my life, and that's like really important to me, and that they know that. So like when people are having a bad day, I want to be able to help them, and I want to be able to show the care. And in our society, a lot of that means like touching someone, like hugging them or giving them a pat on the back, or just like sitting next to them on the couch, whatever they need. So I can kind of put like my love above my OCD in those moments. I think that there's some problems with the mental health care system being overloaded with people needing help. And because of that, people like me don't get the help they need because my case isn't serious enough. I know there's not a cure for OCD, and OCD is going to be something that I'm always going to live with, but I don't want it to, I want to get to the point where it's not my first thought, but an afterthought.